Welcome, guys. As always, thanks for tuning in. This is episode 2 of the Spain Pro Prep series. This time without Justin, just me training legs. Specifically, I would call this a hamstring focused training session. Obviously, we're focusing, like I said, on the back of the leg, and also we're doing some calves in the beginning. The way I train is very high volume and a very fast pace, just so for you to understand. It's not for everybody, but it gives me good results, and that's why I'm sticking to it. Right here, you see me doing calf presses on the leg press. Superset it with seated calf raises on the machine. I do 5 sets of each, 15 reps on the leg press and 10 reps on the seated calves. The thing here is I don't take any rest in between sets. I just go from the leg press to the seated calf machine, back to the leg press, back to the seated calf machine, and I do that 5 times over. Like I said, 15 reps on the leg press every time, even if I have to do rest pause sets, and 10 reps on the seated calf. Same thing every time, even if that means I have to rest pause. The last set on each exercise is finished off with extreme stretch, meaning I hold the stretch position at the very bottom for a minute, or basically until I can't hold the pain anymore, and that's it. I stole that from Dante Trudel and his DC training method, which I followed for a while, and I've kept the rest pause sets in my regime, and also the extreme stretches. Then I go over to some kind of a step. You can use anything to elevate your heels, and I just bust out one single set of Tibialis Raises. The tibialis is the muscle in front of your calves, and training that one will give you a nice round look on your lower leg. After that, we're going straight into hamstrings and leg presses. The leg presses are hamstring focused, so I keep my feet very high up on the platform, or higher than I would normally keep them if I would focus on my quads. And for hamstrings, I choose the seated calf machine, basically because this gym doesn't have a lying leg curl machine, and also the seated calf machine allows me to isolate my hamstrings better than the lying leg curl. And I always tend to feel my lower back after a couple sets into the exercise when I do the lying down hamstring curl. So here, this is a brutal one. We're doing 10 sets of each. 10 sets of each 20 reps on the seated leg curls, and also of course 10 sets of 20 on the leg presses. And again, I go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth 10 times over, 20 reps each, even if I have to rest pause. I will not stop until I hit 10 sets on both exercises with the same weight, of course. I never back down on the weight for all 10 sets on each exercise. If you're really good at it, you should be able to complete those 20 sets in about 30 minutes. Okay, so this is 30 minutes back and forth, 20 sets, one exercise, the next exercise, one exercise, the next exercise, and so on. And you should feel pretty fried afterwards. We are not finished yet. We are moving on to a hamstring only superset, no quads in this one. we go over to the Hamstrings deadlift machine and superset that with the lying on the floor dumbbell hamstring curl. Like I said, this gym doesn't have a lying hamstring machine, but to be honest, I really like this version because it takes a lot out of you, especially because you have to statically hold the weight or the dumbbell in position using your adductors a lot. So this is very different and unique feeling in your hamstring, and if you haven't tried it yet, I suggest very much for you to try it. So here I just do 5 sets on each to failure. No rest pauses on this one. It's just 5 sets of a weight that doesn't allow me to do more than 10 reps. So maybe I get like 10 or 11 on the first set with the weight I'm using, and then the reps obviously drop as I proceed into the sets. We're doing 5 sets of each, like I said, again. And the last set on both exercises usually ends up to be around 5 reps or something like that. And now, last round, we're finishing off with the Adductor Abductor machines. I do both of them, again in a superset fashion. 15 reps on each, but on this one, I usually stick to 3 rounds because it's not really, the most crucial exercise to do. And I just do them because, they give me a kind of special feeling in the legs, and I want to work on my glutes and my inner thighs a little extra to, just finish off the workout, and that's it. So 3 rounds of that, 15 reps each. Yeah, and that was the workout. All in all, this whole thing takes me about a little over an hour, I'd say an hour and 20, with, racking the weights and resting in between sets. So you should shoot for something like that too. But obviously, if you're doing it for the first time, it might take a little longer because you probably can't keep up with the pace. But it'll come, so be patient. It is a lot of work. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you on the next episode, probably with Mr. Justin Compton back on the screen answering your questions. Like we said on the episode 1, if you got questions, just post them below. We'll take care of you. And until then, goodbye.